Welcome back to the series where I play through every single version of Minecraft. We are back in 1.3 as we continue to build up our little desert town, village, city thing. And right now, I have been planning out a little pathway that's going to go down into the desert where we're going to build a bunch of houses, which is what the focus of today is. But I did want to bring you into a little bit of my process as I have been designing this. I started by putting down a bunch of cobblestone to just get the shape of this path. This path is gonna be basically this, but more random instead of just instead of just most for the most part alternating between birch and sandstone. It's gonna be more random, but it's gonna be in this style and it's going to follow generally this slope. It's going to be a little more steady because it's going to be slabs. So there's going to be slabs here, probably some here maybe. I don't know yet. But it's going to follow generally this slope as it gets to the desert. And it's also going to curve out this way. And I think I might make a dock or something over here. I think that might look interesting. And this isn't the exact shape it's going to take on. This is just laying out the general vague idea before I build it up. But today, that's not our focus. As I said, we are going to build houses, and this is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I don't have sandstone on me. So the first thing we need to do is decide what our palette is. And I did basically do that a while ago. That if you've been watching other episodes, that is what these two little pillars are, is deciding the palette of the houses. And I think both of these work pretty well. We'll have some with the jungle, but for the most part, the birch is going to be it. Jungle kind of stands out a lot and might just be a highlight in areas, not the entire roof of some. I will not be using this. That was an experiment. I like the look from up front where you can see the wood sticking out, but the minute you turn away, it is like that and it's ugly. And I don't think any other wood will work for it. Maybe jungle wood. Maybe that's something to think about. But now that I'm getting to the houses, I'm going to knock these down so I have room to move around again. And we're going to try and build some houses. Should be interesting. So the plan is that the houses are going to be littered around the desert. The citizens of this town will mostly be living in this area, and that will be a communal area sort of thing. I don't know what these buildings represent, but they're just there, I guess. And there's going to be a market up there for sure. And so people in this town will funnel into right here where they hit the path to go up. So there'll probably be two, maybe four houses along the pathway, and then houses scattered around the desert. So first off, this looks like a good spot for one. Let's just mark out where we think some houses will be. I don't think they'll be connected with paths or anything. They'll just be disparate houses. I'd say one here, maybe. Probably level this out and make it so there. One feels like nice to have one here. Probably have something around here. And three, maybe even five around here. Somewhere around here. Here. Honestly, going out around this way isn't that bad an idea. Going around this way isn't that bad of an idea. Do I go farther out is the question. I don't really want to. Let's see. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 houses. just place markers for 7, 8. So let's build these houses and then see how we feel. So, general idea, like I wanted with the palace, I don't want to do straight lines, so I don't want to just go like this and then back. I want to do something special, but how and what? Does it look at all good if I do diagonal? How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's call it 7. What would it look like if I just did purely diagonal? Made it like a rhombus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I make it even, I don't want to make it even. So let's make this. And that's going to be weird. Let's just see. Let's just see. And then like that. And then I need a crafting table. I don't have one in my inventory, just making sure. I make so many crafting tables scattered around this world that who knows. Throw that down. Probably should make a chest. Yeah, let's go for it. Just to consolidate all the resources. So I'm not filling up everything. And let's go with some half slabs. Like so. And do I want two? I want it 2 tall. Probably 3 tall. This is probably going to look really bad, or at best strange. But that might not be a bad thing. Strange could end up working for us. And then slabs will go all around and down like I had it on that pillar. So like that. I don't think it's going to let me break. Yeah, that's 1 block. Fortunately, I have to be creative with how I place the slabs, but it works. Yeah, already just walking in through it, it looks kind of interesting. I might make it taller, but this is our first experimental house, so we'll just see what it ends up looking like. Now the question is, how do we just keep going like this? Probably on top of the sandstone, yes, but not for the entire roof, I don't think. It's not terrible. I thought it'd be terrible, if I'm being honest. And it's not. There. Maybe that one keeps and that one goes. Like so. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Definitely not terrible. I'm kind of happy with that. Just as is. Not to mention, to bring it up a level would mean placing all the slabs again. I think maybe here we have a window. Grab that block. Put light inside so nothing spawns. Maybe a window there. 3 wide. Leaving 2 on each side. That That's cool. Yeah. So I fiddled off camera, added the smooth uh fence, that variant, and some fence gates, not gates, just fences to the side, so to give the windows a little bit of character. And as you just saw, a window here. And it's okay. It's like I said, it's not terrible. It's passable, and it's probably going to stay just because it is harder to push this up a block or two because of the so many slabs than it is worth it. I think it fits well enough. Some of this is weird. Maybe maybe I just these are too pointy. They're just too much, I think, there. Probably the same thing with you. It's just a little too much. It sticks out. But other than that, I think that's good. I think we're good with that. I'm going to go experiment with another house off camera entirely just to see what I can come up with. Just free forming it. And that's probably not going to be entertaining to watch. So I'll cut to when I'm done with it. Okay, here's the second house, and I definitely like it. We're getting somewhere better than this. We managed to fit in some flat areas, and it was accidental that I put in extra slabs here, but I like how it works. I don't know if this is going to stay flat or if I'm going to poke a window in there. Probably stay flat. Same in the back. I did this little thing just to make sure it's not uniform. Again, it was an accident, but I think it actually works. And we use stairs in the front, and I did this funky little thing on the side. I couldn't get this side to work well, so I put some stairs facing each direction. I think that works. And also, this is probably where we'll have a window. Do I have fences on me? Oh, they're in my hopper. Yes, I do. So if I do that, not bad. Not bad at all. So this is basically another iteration on this one. I took the diagonals, but I also made flat lines and surfaces. So it's in the inside, it's fairly simple, flat and diagonal over here. So it's interesting. And I'll put a door here maybe, but for now I think I leave them blank, empty, and we move on to the next one. I don't know if I'm going to do any experiments anymore. I think I'm going to stick with this style. I'll maybe put some different kinds of sandstone in. I might do the chiseled. Just remind myself how that works. You and you, right? Yeah. Where'd that go? There. Might mix in some of this guy. Let's so like there. For example, my scroll wheel sucks. There we go. Just a little differential. It works very subtle, but it makes a big difference, I think. So we got a few buildings scattered around here. I decided to not go too overboard. There's none over here, and I'm happy with that. So there's just one, two, three, four, five. Did I count that right? One, two, three, four, five. Yeah. There's five buildings here. I am not at all happy with this one, but it's gonna stay that way for now. I need to get better, learn more about building, and then I'll maybe come back and make it nicer. But as with all my projects, this is kind of just an experiment so that I can be learning about all these different processes. Like how I messed with the diagonals of houses, made that one an interesting shape, but learned that I needed to be higher to match that, or to do interesting things with this house where it's more blocky, but it also has two diagonals, which give it a little more character. So I'm every project I do is me learning something. And so I will eventually come back as I learn more and more, and I will fix this, whatever this issue is. I can't figure it out. It is blocky. That is one problem. I think blocky houses just always will end up looking kind of weird. Maybe it needs texture on the sides. It's too bland. I don't know. But yeah. So here we have this house. We have this house. I kind of built into the land. You can hardly tell, but it's meant to be like this is carved out of this hill. And there's no interiors in these right now. I don't know anything about interiors. So I just decided it's probably best that I don't mess with them right now. And then there's this house. It's just a smaller, completely diagonal that I messed with, and I'm not hating it. It's like all of the other ones. It kind of stands out. This roofing style I have been doing doesn't work great. And that's where I really falter a lot with houses, is figuring out how to do the roof. But also here we have the path going up to the platform. It's okay, as is it most everything else, but it's functional. It serves its purpose and stands out, but also blends in enough that I like it. And now we're gonna go on to, I think this is the last part of this puzzle of making this little town, is a little marketplace. It's not gonna be terribly big. We're just gonna have 3, maybe 5 little stalls that aren't crazy at all. And we'll see what we can do. Maybe I can do something special with them, but I don't know. So let's get working on these. I already raised this platform so I can just place straight here instead of placing on half slabs like these are. So let's get working on that, see what I can come up with. Well, something's come up and I have to call the episode here. We'll work on the market in the next episode, and we'll also finish this path as we go over to the palace area and remove these farms, and that's gonna probably be it for this whole town, I think. For now, at least. I might come back later and add to it, but I think we're good. So that's gonna be it for this episode. I'll see you in the next one, and maybe even in the next one, if I finish the market and the path fast enough, depending on how long that takes, we might be in 1.4.